The chandelier lights caught the shimmer of Victoria Lang's designer gown as she leaned into the microphone, her voice slicing through the elegant hush of the Plaza Hotel ballroom. 300 guests in formal attire shifted uncomfortably in their seats. "Let's be honest about what real success demands," she said with that practiced tilt of her head. "It takes vision, not just showing up every day." Take Lauren Bennett, for instance, my team member who's been grinding away in the same analyst role for a decade now. Still wearing those practical heels. Still buried in the details no one else wants to touch. It's almost endearing. Really? Like watching someone chase their own tail and wonder why they never catch it. Laughter rippled through the room, some genuine, most polite and uneasy. My champagne flute felt slick in my palm, the bubbles rising like tiny accusations. I kept my face composed, lips curved in the neutral smile I'd perfected over years of corporate survival. Inside, humiliation burned hot, but so did something sharper, certainty. Victoria had no idea what was coming, what Marcus Hale, our CEO, was about to drop into this glittering 15th anniversary celebration for Vanguard Tech. My name is Lauren Bennett, and on that cold December evening in Manhattan, I went from punchline to pivot point in a single night. The ballroom buzzed with tech ambition, caterers weaving between tables draped in crisp white linens, fairy lights twinkling overhead like distant stars. I was seated at a table near the service doors, the one reserved for those not quite essential enough for the front rows. Victoria glided across the stage to accept the Excellence in Innovation Award, her diamond earrings flashing as she accepted applause that should have been mine. Every slide she'd just been praised for, every projection, every strategic insight, I had built them during endless nights after my kids were asleep. 3 weeks of 16-hour days refining the Lexington Industries proposal while Victoria attended client dinners I was never invited to. She purred her thanks into the mic, scanning the crowd until her gaze locked on me. "Success isn't about working harder," she continued, her tone laced with false wisdom. "It's about working smarter and knowing your place." Lauren here proves that diligence alone doesn't cut it in our world. Some of us innovate. Others support. The chuckles grew bolder. I felt my cheeks flush, but held steady, fingernails pressing crescents into my palms. Victoria raised her glass. "We need people like Lauren doing the heavy lifting so visionaries can soar." Cheers to the team. The wink she sent my way across the room landed like a slap. I smiled back, not out of defeat, but because after 10 years climbing the invisible ladder at Vanguard Tech, you learn to present the version of yourself the room demands. The speech wrapped to scattered applause. Victoria descended the stage like royalty while I excused myself to the restroom. Under the harsh lights, my reflection stared back, tired eyes. Clearance rack dress from 3 years ago. The quiet exhaustion of a single mom who'd given everything to a company that barely saw her. But beneath that fatigue lay knowledge. The kind forged in invisibility. In being the invisible hand behind every win Victoria claimed. She believed she'd crush me publicly. She had no clue the ground was about to shift beneath her. 3 months earlier, life had already started fraying at the edges. "Mom, you're not even listening," Ava complained, peering at my laptop screen one Tuesday night past 11. The Lexington projections glowed back at me, the same ones Victoria would later present as her masterpiece. "You promised to help with my history project." Guilt twisted in my gut. "Tomorrow, sweetie. Deadline's tomorrow." But tomorrow always meant more emails. More revisions dumped on my desk at 4 p.m. Friday. Noah, my 9-year-old, had started packing his own lunches because Mommy was always on calls. Our cramped Brooklyn 2-bedroom echoed with the quiet chaos of survival, clean enough to pass inspection, cluttered with the evidence of surrender. At Vanguard Tech, my desk had been relocated 3 times in a year, from natural light to the noisy printer corner. Finally, to the drafty spot by the emergency exit everyone jokingly called Exile Row. Budget realities, Victoria explained with her sympathetic smile. New Ivy League hires filled the sunny pods while I layered cardigans against the chill. Fingers numb on the keyboard. Emails went unanswered. Invites vanished from my calendar. Victoria's "oh, Lauren, you missed the reschedule" became routine. Yet the workload multiplied. Every complex analysis landed on my desk with a breezy, "You're so good with the fine print. I'm the big-picture person." The only colleague who saw the pattern was Derek Ruiz, a systems architect who'd started the same year. Over cheap coffee at the corner deli, he'd warn me quietly, "She's building a case against you." "I know," I'd reply, staring at scaffolding across the street where new structures rose while I stayed stuck. Mortgage, kids' activities, health coverage, the invisible chains of single parenthood. Still, I documented everything. Timestamps, version histories, email trails. Not for revenge, but because data was the one thing I could still control when everything else slipped. Coming home to Ava and Noah meant forcing brightness I didn't feel. "Mommy helped build something big today," I'd say. They'd nod, wise beyond their years. Then ask for pizza because groceries waited another day. In those months, I became a shadow, essential yet erased. Victoria's campaign was surgical, small cuts I didn't notice until I was bleeding out. The first fracture appeared one November afternoon. Running diagnostics on Lexington data, I spotted it. A revenue forecast bumped from my calculated 14% to 22%. Version history revealed the edit. V. Lang. Hours after my final submission. Not just theft, but outright inflation. Fraud territory. Derek's eyes widened when I showed him. "This could blow up." "Keep it quiet," I whispered. But Victoria's voice cut in moments later. "Lauren, HR needs you immediately." The walk to human resources felt endless. The HR director, with her polite mask, opened my file. "Concerns about your collaboration style. Vague complaints. Impossible to fight. Classic Victoria." I countered with my phone, 43 after-hours demands. 16 credit claims. The original versus altered Lexington numbers. "This holds up in an audit," I said calmly. The director's smile slipped. "We'll review thoroughly." My job survived. But the sidelining intensified. Decisions bypassed me. My name vanished from credits. Clients praised interfaces I'd perfected. Victoria called it team effort while omitting me. She'd grown careless. Altering timesheets. Sending emails from my account. I backed up everything to multiple drives and embedded subtle markers only I recognized. If Victoria wanted my work, she'd inherit my safeguards too. The Monday before the gala, I overheard Victoria on a hushed call near the coffee station. "The Innovation Award is locked in. Lauren? No threat, she'll be handled quietly after." The words confirmed my fears. The gala wasn't celebration, it was execution. Public humiliation followed by discreet termination. I spent the week organizing my desk, archiving personal files, stealing for goodbye. But I also embedded a lightweight tracker in the final Lexington deck, harmless, just alerting me to high-level access. 3 days pre-gala. My phone vibrated. File opened by M. Hale. Executive Suite. 9:18 p.m. The CEO himself was reviewing my hidden signatures. Marcus Hale remained a legend more than a presence, early 50s. Silver-streaked hair. Eyes that dissected every report. In 10 years, I'd shared a room with him perhaps 5 times. Employees whispered about his lie-detecting gaze, his memory for every success and slip. Unknown to most, he'd been observing me longer. One midnight months earlier, fixing Victoria's botched Riverside client projections alone. Motion sensor lights cast long shadows across empty cubicles. Footsteps approached. Schedule must be off, a low voice remarked. I startled, spilling cold coffee. Marcus stood 10 feet away. Jacket removed. Sleeves rolled. They said the floor was vacant. Mr.
Hale.
Just correcting the Riverside oversights. He scanned my screen. Those original figures would have lost us 30%. My throat tightened. I review finals personally. Yes. Bennett. He studied me. Interesting. The credits list only Victoria Lang. Silence stretched. He nodded finally and vanished into darkness. Afterward, anomalies appeared. Long-broken cameras reactivated. Access logs tightened. Late nights brought cryptic emails from his address, single lines offering precise fixes, parallel architecture for Summit integration, or verify Singapore compliance first. Never signed. Never acknowledged daytime. He knew every theft, every buried contribution, yet stayed silent, watching, waiting. The night I uncovered the Lexington inflation, I worked until nearly 4 a.m., documenting the chain. A post-it appeared on my monitor afterward. Copies off-site recommended. MH. Security footage that night later showed nothing. Another glitch. He'd been there. Unseen. I decided to force the moment. The embedded metadata in every slide proved creation dates weeks before Victoria touched it. If Marcus truly reviewed everything, he'd find it. His tracker access confirmed he had. His follow-up email, something memorable planned for the gala? MH. Told me the board was set. The cream invitation slipped under my Brooklyn door Tuesday evening while I helped Noah with fractions. Gold embossing. Handwritten note. You deserve to witness this. No postage. No envelope. Someone with executive access had bypassed security. Ava found me staring at it later. Mom. You're crying. Happy ones?
Honey.
Mommy's going to a fancy party. I hadn't been invited officially. Victoria ensured my name disappeared from lists citing space limits and client-facing priority. But someone powerful wanted me present. My closet held relics of better days. Blazers from missed promotions. Dresses hinting at lives unlived. Ava pulled out the navy gown from my sister's wedding 3 years back. You look like royalty in this. I hunted hopefully. Babysitting came from neighbor Mrs. Alvarez, who insisted it was my night. A discount makeup run stretched my budget, but dignity demanded it. Saturday afternoon. I prepared deliberately, hair styled from tutorial videos, makeup masking exhaustion, dress fitting looser from stress. Noah whistled. You look like a movie star. Ava snapped photos for when you're famous. Mrs. Alvarez ordered an Uber, no subway to a gala. The ride from Brooklyn to Manhattan felt like crossing universes. At the plaza, I watched Victoria arrive on Connor Lang's arm, oblivious to the woman in navy lingering by the entrance. I wanted invisibility one final time. Inside, Table 17 offered perfect sightlines. Derek appeared in rented tux. Last-minute addition? I showed the handwriting. Someone believes I belong. Lights dimmed. The performance began. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Remember to smile. I already was. Victoria's mockery hung heavy. 300 guests sat suspended between applause and discomfort. Then Marcus Hale rose. No drama. No slammed glass, just deliberate steps toward the stage. He accepted the mic with quiet authority. His calm terrified more than rage ever could. Compelling remarks. Victoria, he began, voice carrying effortlessly. Especially on credit and leadership. Her smile wavered. Since we're exchanging truths, allow me one. He produced his phone slowly. The Lexington Project, your award winner. Impressive 22% growth. Seamless strategies. Praise settled. Victoria's confidence returned tentatively. One issue. However, you authored none of it. Whispers exploded. Connor Lang half rose, face reddening. Marcus continued undeterred. Every line, projection, and solution originated with one individual, the same person who salvaged 14 accounts from missteps. Lauren Bennett worked the 18-hour shifts repairing oversights while you claimed victories built on her foundation.
His gaze found mine.
300 eyes followed. The woman you labeled a treadmill runner generated $43 million in revenue. She's preserved your largest clients and architected this year's award-winning innovations. My hands shook. Marcus tapped his phone. The screen behind illuminated with metadata, timestamps, creation signatures, version histories. Lauren's digital fingerprints mark every critical deliverable. Victoria's face drained of color. This is absurd. Is it? Marcus cut in sharply. Shall we examine the inflated Lexington figures? The near-disastrous summit pitch? The 43 emails where you explicitly took her work? Board members exchanged alarmed glances about liability. Tonight, Marcus addressed the room, we correct an injustice. The Excellence in Innovation Award goes to the true innovator, the creator, not the claimant.
He turned to me.
Lauren Bennett, please join me. This belongs to you. The walk to the stage stretched eternally, every step tracked by whispers and stares. My second hand pumps clicked softly. Marcus handed over the mic, eyes conveying recognition between survivors. I don't want her award, I said, voice steadier than expected. My children's pride in their mother matters more. Integrity outweighs borrowed glory. I faced Victoria, whose empire crumbled visibly. You were partially correct, some support while others lead. Starting Monday, Marcus reclaimed the mic. Lauren will direct our new product innovation division. She'll hire her team, define standards, and occupy the corner office with windows. Applause built thunderously. Victoria's realization hit. Her attempt to bury me had armed me instead. Monday arrived crisp and transformative. I stood outside Vanguard's building at 7:45 a.m. Best suit armor-like. Coffee in hand, gazing at windows once blurred by tears. The elevator to the 12th floor opened into sunlight, fresh flowers, and quiet power. Sarah, my new assistant, greeted me warmly. Mr. Hale asked me to show you your suite. My nameplate gleamed. Lauren Bennett, Director of Product Innovation. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed the skyline. A white orchid and note waited. You earned every view. Make it meaningful. MH. Victoria entered my office hesitantly, fear replacing former arrogance. I offered two paths: clean resignation with severance, or full evidence handover triggering investigation and potential federal scrutiny. Third option, remain under my leadership, performing genuine work with accountability. Why offer me this? She asked. Voice small. My children watch me, I replied, thinking of Ava and Noah's proud faces at news of my promotion. I want them to learn power, need not destroy. She chose option 3. 3 months later, Victoria arrived early, already auditing the Peton account, admitting her own calculation error before submission. Baby steps. Our hand-picked team, Derek leading tech, overlooked talents elevated, thrived without politics. Client retention soared 47%. Marcus noted the outperformance, then promoted me to Vice President of Innovation Strategy. Victoria brought coffees unprompted, mentored juniors collaboratively, praised Ava's project publicly. I once believed power meant diminishing others, she confessed quietly. You showed it means elevating them. Evening found me home early, tucking Noah in after stories. Ava sharing her homework. On the balcony, city lights twinkled as Marcus texted, "Well played. Best outcome is living well." I replied, "It's no longer revenge, simply life earned." The corner office, reformed colleague, thriving team, and bedtime hugs without contempt's weight proved integrity's quiet victory. Power used for redemption, not retribution, leaves the deepest mark. What choices would you make when invisible labor finally claims its due?